example of a general aviation operator, we have found it extremely difficult to sustain a viable business, given pure charter services as a primary avenue of revenue. So the only way that we can adapt is to add more services and more for our revenue, so which is what we're doing. And the more and more difficult it gets to owning aircraft, now anybody who is looking at this sector needs to consider whether is owning an aircraft and having a business, does that even make sense at all? Chartering as a direction to move towards. Also, one point I'd like to make is that another factor that pointed out towards this deregistration is the US dollar rupee issue. You know that there was a 20% reduction in the value of the rupee. As a result, whenever you sell an aircraft which you sell in US dollars, you make a good amount of, some people actually got a little better return on their aircraft. So besides being a fact that the industry has suffered, it's also this little economic fact that made a difference in the last year particularly. Knowledge, the awareness of this service is still very, very restricted. There are very few people who really know that such services exist and can do all that they can do. And at the prices. Sometimes they think their prices are exorbitant that they won't even think about it. But if they start looking at the prices realistically, they'll see that, yeah, maybe once in a while I will use this. So there are companies out there who are trying to go out to the public and talk about this as a what we call practical luxury. It's not necessarily pure luxury. So when more and more companies start coming in, more and more people start talking about this across the audience, then there will be a adaptation of this service. But I think that fundamental image what Rohit said is in the US, after all the millions of dollars that the NBAA spends on advertising, and Warren Buffett talks about it, there is in human nature, it's going to be very hard to change that fundamental fact.